Prompting is an art in itself, and for good and consistent results, we need to learn how to structure our prompts to help Midjourney model better understand what we are aiming for. Midjourney responds best to clear, natural language. Let's start with something simple like a woman in a white gown running through a forest. Okay, that's not bad, but we left so much for Midjourney to decide that we have 4 completely different outcomes and all of them look generic. This is where structure comes in. Since we are more focused on short film creation, this structured prompt might help us get consistent and good-looking results. Shot type, wide, close-up, high angle, Dutch angle, etc. Subject and action. What, who is in the scene and what they're doing. Setting and context. Where the scene takes place. Lighting and colors. Backlight, Rembrandt, studio, color palette. Medium, photography, anime, cinema, film stock. For additional cinematographic commands, parameters, your aspect ratio, and other controls. Let's take this example into consideration. As you can see, we have much more predictable outcomes with a clear visual appeal. Now let's analyze the prompt. We have a shot type, which is high angle wide shot. We have a subject, a young woman with curly white hair in a flowering white gown, and her action, running. We have setting and context, a fog-covered forest, ancient pine woods at dawn with mist swirling around tree trunks, light and colors, cool blue ambient light with soft golden highlights breaking through branches, a medium, cinematic fantasy photography, a selected film stock to add more cinematic styling to the image, Kodak Portra 400, and additional parameters that we specified in the prompt, the aspect ratio 16:9, stylization set to 200, weird to 100, version 7, and raw style. By adding more specified details, we helped ourselves and Midjourney generate more specific outcomes. Let's have a look at another example. As you see, we have all the elements in place. We have a close-up portrait, detective with a cigarette, we have setting and context, harsh side light, a medium, film stock, and it's a square aspect ration. And another one, for example, treat structure more like a guide for consistent outcomes from Midjourney. Don't treat it as absolute necessity for every prompt. Word order matters. What comes first have more value, so try placing key subjects toward the beginning of your prompt for better results. For example, here we prompt for a close-up shot of astronaut in dark futuristic gear with a flag in a vast desert with moons on the background. You can see that it's a close-up of astronaut with moons and desert on the background. Astronaut is more important because placed in the beginning of the prompt. And this is what happens if we just switch positions of astronaut and desert in the prompt. You can clearly see that desert and moons take up more space and become more important. It's not a close-up shot anymore just because of the scale of things we are trying to showcase. It's a good time to talk about redundancy technique. We have same astronaut shot, but we specified a bit more, the gear of astronaut. You can see that flag became a part of his gear and not a separate object. And except for one shot, we lost 2 moons on the background. So let's fix that by being redundant. When Midjourney seems to ignore important details, try describing them in multiple ways. And as we have added, holding a big waving American flag stuck in the ground, on the blurred background we have empty rocky desert with 2 big white moons visible in the deep blue sky. We get most of our generations with external flag and 2 moons in the sky, so whenever Midjourney ignores specific elements, just make these details more specified. Upscaling. After you are happy with results, you can upscale the image for further use. After version 6, you have 2 options to upscale your images, subtle and creative. Both will double the size of your original image. If you choose the creative upscaler, it might change your image a bit as it adds new details. It can sometimes help correct small issues in your image, like awkward hand positions or odd facial expressions, but it can also change the face of your character. Like when we take this image of our beautiful redhead actress and upscale it creatively, you can see that it added lots of details to her earrings, hair, and sweater pattern, but we have lost facial consistency and all the beautiful freckles she had. On the other hand, the subtle upscaler keeps changes to a minimum, preserving the look of your initial image as closely as possible. We will talk about better tools for upscaling in our next videos. For now, go on and create some shots based on your predefined shot list, like the one that you want to see in your short film. Play around, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.